in once more. And oh, that was the wrong thing. Let's do it like that. And also let's give you all the commit that we're starting from again, which is that. Okay, awesome. So our job is to connect up signals first. So the first thing we need to do is find the player in C#. We're going to need to go and find a reference to the player. We could do that in ready potentially. And this is where, Yann, I'd like to be able to find things without a string reference if possible. So I'd like to be able to find a node by its type.
I'm not sure. Well,
because we have a player CS, and then that would be refactorable.
So that will work here because player is the only kinematic body, but it's not going to work in future where we have multiple kinematic bodies.
Well, it's going to work fine as a way of finding the player. So let's.
How about we use groups? We assign player to its own group.
No, because you're just creating another place to edit things. I mean, the way to find the player is...
Right, but then it doesn't matter where the player is in the scene tree, right?
Well, no, I don't care where the player is in the scene tree. Hopefully there's a method that allows me to find by type, is there not?
Yes, and it'll work this time because we only have one kinematic body 2D.
What's he got to do with kinematic body 2D? No, I want to find. I want to find by player as a type, not by kinematic body 2D. I want to go and find a node.
How is that not a string?
What's that?
Player is a string I created.
No, but it's a type. The player.cs is a type. It's a strong type. It's a class. So I want to be able to search by class. That's the point.
Ah, okay. That's not how that works in GDScript.
No, exactly. So if anybody knows how to do that, let's see. Because in Unity, you would get a component by type, and that way we can rename, and it's safe. So this is all by string. There may be that we can do a type of. No, that's not going to work. Maybe let's try. I'm in the wrong editor. Let me close that. It's not giving me any autocomplete help at all. So I can get myself to a type of player like that, or I can say player dot toString, possibly. What have I got here? So what I want to try and do is make this refactor safe, right? If possible, even if it has to end up a string in the code, I would like to be able to change the name of the player ultimately, really try and get things in one place if possible. So reload, let's just see what happens if we print out the type of player. Hang on. Because this has been annoying me a lot. So this...
And bear in mind, this won't work in GDScript.
This won't work in GDScript because the type works differently, yeah. But if we can get the type of the player in C# here, then hopefully we can print that out. And even if we have to pass it to some minging string-based function, at least if we change the name of the player, it'll follow through without losing connection. So...
Well, how will it follow through?
Well, because we can do a refactor on player.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah. But that's not...
You're back in here now, yeah.
Yeah, I can do a refactor on player and it would change, but it's giving me a null type there. And that will be the case because we don't have the instance yet. We have a circular issue. We don't have the instance of the player yet, so we're not going to be able to query that. I wonder if there's some other way of doing this. Let me just have a quick look. We might... No, I want to look at the class name.
Well, hang on. Why are you trying to call the player in the player?
There you go. This is what I think I'm trying to do. Bear with me a second. What I'm trying to do is make sure it's not string reference, or that the name of the player only exists in one place, which is the player script. There you go, player. That's cool. So now what I'm saying is if I was to change the whole name of this player class, then I would have access. This would change. Any place that I find the net player by name like this.
But only if you do it in the script, right? If you just change the node name in the engine, this isn't going to work.
No, but so we've got to decide what's the meaning. What makes a player a player? The fact we've called it player here, what's more important? Is it that or the fact that it's got a player behavior on it? I would say certainly from a Unity paradigm, it's the fact it's got a player behavior on it that makes it, that's the strongest indication that it is a player. Because that's what's giving its behavior.
No, I understand. I just think that's potentially a naming problem.
Yeah, but we don't see, I don't want to have things in here that if we change, we want to be free to change the name in here all we like. And it should never have a consequence. If it does, then that's just nasty. So I think we should try it this way and see how we get on, and go from there. So the thing is that you're saying we can now find a node by name, but I want to find the
node by script.
By script. So and we don't want to assume that the name is the same as the script name, because the script is the thing that's refactorable and properly tracked by the IDE. So we happen to have the same name as the node of the class as the node name. Yeah, live again this early. Yep, Jambo, we're live again. We're trying to battle him with how to take control of Godot so that we don't have things like nasty string references or things in two places. So that's what we're doing. I'm also looking a little bit too bright right now, so I'm just going to
sun came up.
Sort that out. Yeah, I think it's something to do with the back brightness of the background. There you go. I'll go down a couple. Awesome. So, yeah, that's what I was trying to do, is trying to work out how in C# we can, Godot C# we can find the scene by the node by the type of it. And I don't know. Can you have a look as well, Yann?
Hang on, find the what?
I want to find a node based on the fact that it has a particular, it has a particular class on it, if possible.
Should be possible. I'm looking Godot.
Yeah, I'm going to have a explore in here as well. Find node. You see, you've got this string. That's what I want to try and avoid.
Type of should work, I think.
Yeah, that'll give me the type, but how do I go find node?
Node has type. Node has class. I think one of those two.
Yeah.
Because that's how you would find whether or not it's a player kinematic body. Okay. So you would just do that until it's a player.
Okay, let's have a look and see what the options are. Allow specifying C class name instead of source file as path node. Yes. Maybe this is an issue.
Oh, I just thought of something really funky.
What do you thought of?
We only have to put this connection in Spike's Spike's top, and then make Lightning inherit Spike's top, and just put the extra behavior in Lightning. We don't need to.
Look, this is interesting. Code. This is an interesting guide that you guys may find helpful. It's a GDScript to Godot C# gotchas guide. That looks perfect for what we're doing here. Let's just have a quick look. My node get node. So they're still string referencing the node here. Don't really like it. This is where we could do with some help from Godot themselves, but say, look, this either isn't possible, or it'd be good to get like Remy on a stream with these sorts of things, and just especially when we're early days as to like how do we create a great paradigm here where we're programming into this thing and doing it how we want to do it. I don't want to find the player with a string. This is not nice to do that. I mean, we can do it temporarily and put it to do in to solve that, but the problem is we're going to start teaching it into the section then. And
I mean, I think that's just how Godot works, to be honest.
It just maybe with GDScript, but with C, if we're going to be growing up and using C#, then I can't see that.
Hang on a second.
Can't see that that's the way forward.
This is a GDScript.
Generic typed get node. Here you go. Let's see what happens there.
Has property? No, that's no good.
Yeah, people are talking about it. They're talking about it here in this issue. Just see if there's an update to this. Wow. Yeah, they're talking about just putting a generic. That would be... We could get tree root find class. We could try that. It's going to be slow, but if it's done on ready, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, the thing is they've written this find class. We could put this in as a static, as a separate static class. I won't leave it in play here, but let's just see if this behaves itself. No, I mean, let's not do this. I don't want to start a paradigm of iterating over every single node. Is there just not a get node that's generic already?
Yeah, there's a get node. It's just you do it by name.
Yeah, but you can't be using strings. Not coming from a C# paradigm.
You're using the path. You're not using the string. You're just entering the...
Yeah, but you're entering as a string. So if I want to... we had this problem just yesterday. We had a problem where player level 1 was called level 1 without a space or whatever. When the project gets big, that's just going to get horrible. I can't stand the idea that something's in two places. That's what I'm getting stuck behind. And it's in both the editor as the name and it's in the C# script as the class name. If we could deal with only the class name, then...
I mean, I think it's to do with the fact that it compiles at runtime, which means it's just easy to use strings because it's not going to check whether or not something is valid until the last minute.
Yeah, but you could use the type. Right, I'm going to get over it for the moment and just do it a different way and say that I'll have to live with it, and we'll make a to-do that we need to find better ways as we get deeper into the course. The point we're learning here is that however we're going to solve that, it's going to be too much for this stage of the course anyway, so we're just going to have to leave it. So let's go and get the node by name. So easiest way to the player path would be...
It would be... Okay, so string /root/level1/player. I'm doing that from memory. You don't need that that percentage.
Oh, I see, as a string, yeah. So, well, actually, let's just do this. Let's make a var player equals. Now, you see here, again, it's not going to know. It can't make a type inference as to what that type is because it doesn't know the type of this thing. So that's the whole... The fact this is happening at runtime is awful as far as I'm concerned. I can't go and get the player like that. I'm going to have to cast it to a player. So as player, yeah, this stuff drives me a bit nuts. So all right, let's have a look.
Player what? Player.name?
Well, it should. I think that the logging system should tell me that. It may not. It might just tell me it's an object, but I suspect the logging system will give me something more useful than... It's a kinematic body 2D with ID 1221.
Okay.
I mean, that sounds good.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's the only kinematic body 2D in the game.
It sounds like we have found the player. So finding it with a string reference like that, nasty, but the fact we've got it, that's okay. So... All right.
I mean, if you want to do, there is a way of checking what class it is, but it will only tell you that it's a kinematic body 2D, which in this case, where there is only one, will work fine. Otherwise, you could use groups, but at some point, you're going to have to use a string. Anyway.
Yeah, I'm going to get over it.
Right now, we've put this in the player script, which makes no sense. I don't think your comment is that helpful.
Yeah, it's very helpful. Okay, so that's fine. We know how to do it. It's the coin that's going to need to find the player. We're going to need to have a coin dot.
Well, right now we're trying to connect damage, remember?
That's true. So, oh, well, hello, Siri. Is it the lightning that the first one you want to do? Which one do you want to attack first?
I think the first one is Spike's top because it has much simpler behavior.
Okay, we don't even have a Spike's top CS script at the moment.
We don't have a lightning CS either, so.
So, okay, well, let's do Spike's top first. So let me just get in there.
Just put a platform in. That's nice.
Yeah, it's very nice. 1 second. So,
that's because you have tile map selected.
Spike's top.tscn.
Is an NPC. Okay.
There it is. And then we need to make a new script. So I can just kill the script here, can't I?
Yep.
I can add a new one. And we're going to call it spikestop.cs. Not in subscenes, though. We're going to put it in scripts. That's it. That should be fine. Inherits. Does it want to inherit Area 2D?
Yes, it is, of course, Area 2D. But Lightning will inherit this one.
That's a bit weird.
Well, unless you want, because Lightning has extra behavior that Spike's top doesn't.
Yeah. Yeah, but you would call. Well, I think we have a naming issue there. We would call.
Then make an NPC one and do that.
Yeah, and then inherit both of them from there. But
Sure.
let's just get it to the GDScript equivalent first, and then we'll refactor the GDScript afterwards. So I have a C# script here now, hopefully, spikes.cs, there you go. And then I have this paste that I can put in here. I'm going to make this an instance variable. So I'm not going to say whether they're private or not. They're private by default, private player. So we have a player here. We're going to say that the player equals this thing. So now we have available, however slow this get node is, I'm going to say string reference spit.
It's great getting over it.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to get over it. We're going to find a solution at some point, even if we have to extend the engine. We can't be doing string references like this. The problem with it is if you change
I understand the problem.
the level name or the player name, that's not going to work, which is just rubbish. You know, that's just rubbish. Okay.
Well, I mean, I have several solutions, but at some point we need strings. But anyway,
Yeah.
we've got the player. We need to connect to the player.
Yeah, so that's where now we've got an instance name. So all of this was because we needed to have the idea of an instance, right? So now we can say player dot
Connect.
sorry, what was it? Connect. Okay, and now it's going to want to know the name of the signal. It's going to want to know what we're going to connect to, etc. So what is the signal name?
Let's see.
Take damage, was it? We've got it over in player.c.
I could take a look on here as well. The signal I've got is hurt, but we could call it anything.
Life up, life down.
No, those are signals from the player. This is a signal to the player.
We've got a take damage method, but
That's the method it's going to. Look, the signal name only exists in the thing that's damaging. So Spike's top is going to make a brand new signal, and that's what we're going to reference.
Okay. Well, we can call it hurt if you wish.
Whatever. And that's going to be the take damage thing.
Then what? What's this object array?
Oh, we don't need it. It's just if you need to pass any arguments through.
Yeah, which we in this case don't, right?
Yeah, we won't be doing that at all in this script.
Okay.
In this game.
So you think that's done it? You think that's made?
Is take damage exactly how it's written?
Yeah.
Then it should be fine.
Okay. So the indication that this is working will be that.
Oh, have you defined the hurt signal in that script?
No.
Then it has nothing to emit. And we're not actually emitting the signal.
Does it need to be public, do you think?
I have no idea. However you did it in the player script.
Doesn't look like it does, look.
Cool.
No, hang on. The function we're going to call is take damage, but I think that needs to be. I think we need to draw this out. I'm completely confused about the communication now and who's talking to what.
Okay.
Let's get ourselves some annotations. I have really no clue what's going on now.
All right. Now?
Yep, sure, you can annotate on here if you like, if you think you know how this communication works. I don't at the moment.
Here's our player.
Yeah.
Okay. The player is going to walk into a spike. We have a HUD. As the player walks into the spike is going to send a signal called hurt. That signal has to be generated here and then connected there. Once it's received here, life down goes that way.
So the player is going to receive a hurt.
Correct. That's going to trigger take damage.
Take damage.
Once it's received,
so the job of this spike's top is to send a signal to the player called
hurt. Take damage is the function it is triggering in the player.
This does. I have not. So when we teach this, we really need to be very, very clear, especially for the C# people. I hope that this is going to be clear in the Godot, because in the GDScript, because from the C# point of view, I'm completely flummoxed now as to what on earth's going on. I don't know what are delegates. I don't know what are method calls. I have no idea. Really.
Okay, that is a function in player. Okay, so what I'm saying is I need you to connect to here the signal that I'm about to create. So hurt has to be created in this script, right? So we're going to make hurt here. Okay. So connect to this script, and the method we're connecting to, the function we're connected to, is take damage.
It's not making any sense. So what functionality are we giving this hurt script? What I guess we look
in a moment. We're going to say when you enter this body, if you look at the GD,
yeah, but this is done on process. It's not done.
I've actually changed it. So the only body it can hit is player. There's nothing else that can physically.
Yeah, just through collision filtering, right?
Right. So we don't need the if body name equals player. But the moment anybody comes in here, emit the signal hurt to everything you're connected to.
Yeah. But we could just emit the signal hurt all the time for a moment just to test that it's working.
Yes. But first we need to define the signal hurt.
Declare the signal hurt, like as in...
Exactly. There is no signal yet. So we need to actually declare it.
I think we're using far too many signals here, personally, but we shall see.
I mean, that's why I said we didn't need to use signals for the HUD.
Yeah. This is why... Okay. So... yes, but life up, life down, coin up, coin down.
Those are all signals to the GUI from the player.
Right.
Okay, so now, when something enters this body...
Well, there's nothing saying that that's what's going to happen. It's going to happen on ready at the moment. Okay,
fine. But now we need a new function.
Well, we could just do it on... We could do it on process for the moment and make sure the signal's called every frame, right?
Go for it.
Break one thing down at a time, so...
Which I would imagine would kill the player within 3 frames.
We're getting another vote there from back at 50 foot. Hello, back at 50 foot. Thank you for being here. Saying that we can use groups. Yeah, but I think that groups are still going to give us this string referencing issue that I've got over. Which I really haven't got over. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to emit the signal, which name of. Here you go. This is me getting rid of string references. So then I'm starting to get happy. Name of, and then the name of it should be hurt, and that's type safe now. Okay, cool. So again, here I'm happy. Okay, I'm very happy because I don't.
So can't you just do name of player and be done with it?
What's that?
Can't you do get node name of player?
No. Because
can't you do get node root?
No, because it's
find node name of player.
Look, my paradigm is that we should be able to change this player name to whatever we like, and that shouldn't break anything. If I do that now, you're like, oh my god, that's going to break things. Well, Well, that shouldn't break anything in code. That is rubbish. We should be able to name this stuff however we like. It's got nothing to do with how the code works. The code works.
Right. I mean, this is part of the design of Godot, right? And it's actually the first thing they mentioned in the documentation is one of the problems with a dynamically typed engine is you can't do that.
Yeah, but in C# we probably can. They just probably haven't written the generic methods we need to do that net. What I want to be able to do is a get node generically like this. I want to be able to say player, and there was the discussion. I put it in the chat earlier. I want to be able to say player equals get node, and then I want to be able to go generic here, player, like that. That's what I want to be able to do. And it just doesn't exist. There is no generic format. So let's go and find me any node that is of type player. That would be useful. Can't do it at the moment. Okay, so we're going to emit her every process. Let's see what happens. What do you expect to happen? You expect if it's all wired
to die in 3 frames.
Die in 2 frames. Okay, so we're getting nothing there. Nothing there. So I wonder what's going on.
Is take damage working in player?
Well, we should be saying spike impact ouchies in the log. That's all it's doing at the moment. We're not getting.
So we're not connected.
So the spikes probably. Oh, do you think they lost their connection because we switched from C#
That's the whole point. Is we're writing the connection in the script.
Yeah. So when we say,
do we need to put the curly brackets in the script, in SpikeTop script? No, we did that before. So that's should be making a connection, and it's clearly not.
How do you know it's not? Can we see this? Can we see a new connection at runtime?
Because if it were, it would be transmitting that every frame, and it's not saying ouchies.
Yeah, what I'm saying is if we go into the editor and we have a look in here, would we, if we were making a new connection, would we see that here?
Have you enabled it in the debug menu?
Enabled what in the debug menu?
Go to the debug menu, top left.
Yeah.
You can sync scene and script changes.
Both?
Yeah. So now you should be able to see it live, I think.
What are we expecting to see?
Well, so we've still got that connected.
There is no Hertz signal. This is not showing us a Hertz signal on the Spike's top node at all, which is what I'd expect to see here if it was updating, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not getting a failure. I'm not getting that the signal is not connected.
Has this been saved? Spike's up, yes, it shouldn't make a difference.
Has been saved.
Is Spike's top using the correct script?
What do you mean? Is the spikes here?
Yeah.
No. That's interesting. I wonder why, because we created it on it. I think it's just this is the problem.
Oh, you started creating it. You didn't actually finish creating it.
Well, that could make a difference. Hello, Lizzie. How are you doing? We're getting errors here. Okay, so at least it's got as far as the, thank you very much, attempt to connect to the Spike's top failed. Have we got a good reason?
Non-existent signal. So it looks like we didn't declare the signal properly. Now you did name of before for your signals.
Yeah, name of for this. Yeah, it's not. I mean, this shouldn't matter because this is just on the emit.
It's the declaration that's not working, right? It's saying it doesn't know what that is.
Yeah. Let's read the string signal. So the signal, yeah, Hertz should be the right signal name. The target.
Right. It's saying I can't find the signal, which means this declaration apparently isn't working.
Sure, we're connecting around the right way here. To a method on the target object. Now, the target surely should be player. And surely it should be...
Connect.
I think that we just got this backwards.
That could be right.
A lot of errors here. But these errors being called every frame. That's good. So we have successfully connected now.
Yeah. So what's the issue?
So, well, that's good. They're being called every frame.
Definitely progress. So what's the issue? Method not found. Okay, take damage has been found, which means there's something in the way we're doing the connection.
Yeah, but that's much.
It's definite progress.
It's not anything to do with arguments. It may be. Well, let's just double check the names. I mean, it's definitely take damage. It might be that it needs to be public to be called from the outside. So if that's the case, what's that?
That would make sense.
It's not that. So let's go back because we want it to be as tight as possible. I'm a bit concerned we're not passing any arguments through. You're suggesting we don't need to, but...
I am. Because we're now creating... there's no argument to pass, right? In Spike's top. Hurt doesn't need anything.
What's the other argument here?
You can make an array of stuff.
Binds, yeah.
Try taking all those arguments out of take damage.
There you go. So it is about the parameters that are. I'm just going to call it parameters.
Okay, I'm going to stick to what the engine calls it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there are formal parameters and there are actual parameters. So. All right. So
now we need to do the thing with if something enters this body.
So yeah, that's fine. But why do we need these parameters on? Yeah, it didn't match the delegate type. Yeah, so the signature was wrong. Why do we need these? We don't use these in any of the take damage.
If you connect enter area 2D through a body has entered signal, it generates them automatically.
Yeah, but we're not going to use them.
Exactly. We didn't. We made a brand new signal, so we don't need it.
So we don't need it. Okay, fantastic. So let's make a commit because we've made success here. What we've done is we've managed to connect Spike's top, and it's the opposite to the documentation. I mean, this isn't well documented, right? So this example in the documentation is connecting the other way. We are saying we have a signal declared here as a delegate called hurt. Mm-hmm. That's an outbound signal from Spikes to somewhere else, and we're making the connection to the player. We're finding it with a string reference, and then we're connecting this, i.e. the instance of Spike's top. We're connecting the hurt signal to the player. So we're passing that method call through to the take damage of player. And we're not allowed, the parameters, they can have no parameters because that's...
I mean, unless we want to make some. But
yeah, which we'd have to do, I think, in here in some sort of object.
Yeah, and there's no point. There's no data we're trying to move from one to the other.
No, exactly. So what on earth is the point of that? Awesome. So we've got as far as that is working. I'm just going to check it works, save it, and then commit, and then we have made some progress. I'm then going to stand up.
I have about 10 more minutes before I have to get ready to teach.
I know it takes. Well, this is what I want the community to understand. It's just how long we
totally.
over this.
It's more for your benefit than this.
So that by the time we get to teaching you the course, we've spent a lot of time behind the scenes. Sam just spent a month prototyping the next Unreal VR section. By the way, even if you don't have the kit, you might want to consider taking that because there's all sorts of meaty C++ in there for those of you who care. So connected. C# signal, signal in C#. Yay. Okay, awesome. So small steps, but one at a time. All right. So when you need to dive out, that's fine, Yann. I'll probably just carry on quietly with you. I'm glad there are 14 people here. Hey, 14 people. A few things. Just want to say a few things as I stand up. One of those 14 things is remember to join our forum. So I'm sure you're already on there. What else should we tell them? Remember, we've got a live chat server. We'll be doing a voice AMA in the voice lounge on there on Friday. It is Friday? No, Friday's tomorrow. All of our courses are here. Follow me on Kickstarter because we'll be doing Python soon. Thanks for subscribing. And if you've just joined, welcome to the stream. And where in the world are you from? Please slam into the chat where you're from. And thank you to all the subscribers. And look, we have a little leaderboard of cheers here now. The top weekly cheers. Dan BJO has cheered us to the tune of 100 bits and really taken the lead. So keep cheering. You do that with this little icon down here, which I'll give you by down here. It doesn't really help. But if I draw a big, dirty, in fact, if I use the big, dirty arrow tool, oh, that only does small horizontal arrow tools and not particularly big, dirty arrows. This thing here.
I'd use a circle.
Yeah, we could just use a circle, or we could just draw lots of lines into the same place, and then they would all converge like that. That's what you want to do. You go there, you can cheer. It's all good fun. Whatever. All right, good. We've got that connected. So what we want it to do in the player when we take damage is actually do something. So this, I go and take inspiration from your take damage here. This is where we say if the body's ourself, we jump. Okay,
body equals self doesn't matter.
Right.
That's depreciated because with collision mask, it can only be you.
So
only one thing can possibly trigger this, right?
So we can just do that, right, from the GDScript point of view. Is that what you're saying?
Yep.
Okay, that's awesome. Philadelphia, PA, woke up early going to the gym while listening. Great.
Yeah, I used to live around there. I was in Collingswood, which is just across the river.
Oh, cool. Awesome. You used to live there, you're saying?
Yeah, I don't live there now. I live in England.
Okay, so when we take damage, one of the first things we want to do is we just want to jump in the air. So we're just going to, we know this is cool, so we can get rid of that. We can say motion.y equals jump speed. So that's going to make us jump in the air. That's quite obvious. It doesn't need anything. Now, the question is from
subtract a life.
What's that?
Subtract a life.
So from an execution point of view, why that where the setting motion.y is only going to work if we then call physics process move and slide, which we do on every physics process. Okay, so from an execution flow point of view, at some point this take damage delegate's being called, and we're setting the motion y. We're waiting for the next physics process to come along and say, boom, let's move and slide. Off we go. Okay, so we jump in the air, that's cool. And then we're going to emit signal life down, which is fine. So we're going to go emit signal type of, and then we've already got this. Awesome, nice and type safe, very happy bunny. Very hard for me not to do another smiley face here. So I'm going to do another smiley face. Apart from that's not working, system type to string. Where did we do an emit signal that was type safe before in player CS? Name of, not type of. So therefore, if we were to rename life down as a class, then this would work, which is awesome, makes me very happy. I just don't like seeing green anywhere in the code, not green, but whatever strings are shown as, these things, orange. I'm trying to avoid that as far as possible. That would be my... you can say Dan, okay. Oh, Joe. Okay, so how would the Joe or the Joe or Joe, whatever, how would that...
It's probably a Y, but he's saying don't say it.
So Daniel.
Let's not say it.
Yeah, let's not say it. Dan, hey Dan, let's not mess you up. That's awesome. Thank you for being a subscriber, by the way. All of you subscriber people are awesome. So,
okay, now we actually want to lose a life.
Yeah, so we emit the signal life down to tell anything else that cares. Let me just turn my phone on to don't disturb. So, lose a life, which is just a question of life. Oh, we also do the sound effect. We can just pretty much copy this across. Sound effects I'll attack in a bit, so we'll just put this in as a comment. Lives minus equals 1, I think.
And then if lives equals 0.
So I'm adding state variables or instance variables as necessary, really thinking about whether they make sense. What are we doing about starting lives, Yann? What do you do in your GDScript about starting lives?
I set them to 3.
Right. Okay.
I mean, I did consider putting default lives on the rest of it. It just wasn't worth it.
Yeah, absolutely. Like bro with a Y in Norwegian. So bjo.
Without a break between the B and the O. So definitely not B-O, because that would be wrong.
Dan bjo. That's right. Cheer. Oh, you're already at the top of the leaderboard. Why should you cheer anymore, hey? Dan Bio. Dan.
And he's lost it.
Bio. Dan Bio. Dan Bio. Awesome. Let's go with that.
Cool. If lives is less than 0, end game.
Yeah, and what's happening about this end game? Let's just check this. Let's do this as a in a minute. Let's make sure that what we've got
the next
currently
function
works.
is just load a scene saying end game.
Okay.
Okay.
Awesome.
So we're doing this every frame. So I'm just
You see this end game, that could be a signal.
Why?
Well, it should be a signal to the game instance rather than us ending the game from the player. It's not the player's job to end the game.
Okay.
So just
all you're doing is loading a new scene, is all you're doing.
Yeah. Just longer term, that sort of thing is where it could be like an end game request. The player and the game instance or the game script would deal with that. But look, one thing at a time. Let's see if this works. Let's see if we've got progress. We should be getting everything but actually dying. Our lives should at least be going down. Whoa.
Oh, you're going up every frame. You're calling this every frame.
Yeah, well, we're doing that. We were just doing that for test purposes. So
yeah, totally.
In the coin.
And now we know that's working. I couldn't see the lives because your picture was in the way on my screen.
Yeah, so instead of doing this on process, we need to be doing this when we want to be doing this, which is if we look at spiketops.gd, it's only when we get the right overlapping body. So we'd better do that. Did our number of lives drop, by the way, in
I couldn't see it. You're in the way. Let's check.
GUI?
Nope.
Wonder why not. We should get the lives dropping. What is updating that? Is there a
life down signal?
So the life down signal. So where's the life down being signal received, and is it connected?
It's being received to camera script. That should be connected.
The GD script should be able to deal with that, shouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, on player life down. I wonder why that isn't.
Take a look at player script. Let's make sure it's actually emitting that signal properly.
In the player GD script?
No, player CS. Emit signal name of. Okay, so compare that to coin up.
There. It's fine. Yep. I mean, they're they can't be. But you can't get the names wrong in C# because we're using name of name of. This is the benefit.
It wasn't the name I was looking at. It was the structure.
So how's the coin up connection look? On player coin up. Yeah, let's
take a look at the camera.2D. Let's make sure that's actually working. And the script of it.
Yeah, well, there is no script on it at the moment.
Lies. I'm looking right at the script. It's right here.
Yeah, there you go. On player coin up. On player life. Oh, why is this storing the number of lives? This shouldn't be storing the number of lives. Not in two places. We've got the lives in two places. We've got it in the player and we've got it on the UI.
Yeah.
One or the other.
Well, yes. Unfortunately, the way I structured it didn't do that, but I should fix that in this way.
Yeah, well, that's why we're doing the review. So, okay, we'll fix that. That's not.
Unfortunately, I need to drop out.
No worries. That's fine. Okay. No worries. I'll see you in a bit.
Yep.
Cool. Take care, Yann. So, lots more work for me behind the scenes to get this working properly. I'm now left on my own with this unfamiliar Godot thing that we are trying to take control of. See, I'm coming in blind and naively to this to try and say, look, we want to make Godot as good as possible for ourselves. I'm starting to favor using C# in Godot anyway because of this type safety. But there are times when I really do not favor C#, like in the previous game when we were importing JSON files. So I think the real maturity is to try and have the ability to switch from one thing to another, because having just one go-to language really sucks. So yeah, you're unfamiliar with both, so you're completely lost. It's okay. In the courses, you will not be completely lost. I'm just going to try a clip. If I hit that button, I just took a clip. I don't know if that worked, but hey. Awesome. So I need now to crack on and see what's going on. Oh, why am I saving things? I don't know why I'm saving things. Let's see how far we've got. I could do with getting a commit in soon. So I know why I'm flying up in the air. I think I'm going to sort that out. Try and translate Yann's GDScript across here. Sorry, don't worry about Yann. I spent 3 hours yesterday wondering why my UI would work event-based raycasting Clean forgot to add the event system. Okay, yep. Awesome. That sort of stuff can happen, right? And string references don't help, because then if we change names of things, then they break. I don't like string references. I don't know if any of you noticed that I don't like string references. Maybe the spit here, maybe, I don't know. Maybe, oh, there's more string references here. Look, spit. Don't like that. You know what we can probably do? I can probably get rid of them. Let's get rid of this. Let's go, this is going to be the name of hurt. Why didn't they do that in the docs? Look at that. Name of hurt. So if this was working, how would I know? I would know because take damage would be being called, which would make us, so it'd still be flying up in the air if that name of trick was working. That name of trick will work. We'll go flying up in the air still. Awesome. So that's got rid of another string reference. Where do we connect? In here. Now, take damage. How do I... that's harder. But I think I can still do it, can't I? Because we have type safety. We have player dot. And if take damage was public, take damage would need... contribute to the docs. Yeah, we will one day. I just want to get this course off the ground, and then we will, and get some good habits, and then we'll contribute to the docs. Good idea, that man. So if my take damage on the player was public, which it should be really, because this is something, from an API point of view, this is something we can do to the player from the outside. So I'm going to move take damage up. And I'm going to say that one of the main things you can do to this guy, hang on, before or after the signals, haven't really decided what to do about signals. I think we'll go here, and I think I'm going to declare my signals higher up these classes. Going to need to make myself a new set of header comments for C#, I think, at some point. These are outbound signals, so wonder where, I might try putting them at the bottom of the class. Don't know, it's a bit weird. We'll see. This is a new thing, so we'll see where we decide to put those. The point is, what is the point? That I'm trying to get rid of more string references. I could spend all day just getting rid of string references, and eventually you guys would thank us for it, us for it, because you'll be making your games, and you won't have to worry about string references. So anyway, if I make take damage a public method, which it should be anyway, I think that any other class should be able to request that the player takes damage. I like that. Then I think we can now go player.takeDamage method dot. Now we should have something like name of. Ha! Take that, string reference. Get it. Now what's the problem? Operator cannot be typed to. It's not going to work. It's going to need the method player.takeDamage. What am I doing wrong here? Let's see if I can get the name as a string in a separate line. Expression doesn't have a name. Surely you do. Surely we can get the method name using reflection. Let's have a look. Anybody know how to do this in C#? How I can reliably get the name here? And let's call this method to call. Let's try using system.reflection. It's not going to let me do that. Name of. think that's going to do it. And I'm not even sure we're using the system reflection class there. Let's have a look. I think we are namespace. We're not. Let me see if we get a log out saying take damage, which case I've got rid of another string reference and I'm a happy bunny. I'm going to do a got rid of a string reference dance for you. Take damage. Got rid of a string reference dance. Got rid of a string reference. Woo, woo. Okay, good. It's not that exciting. I'm just going to put this in line because all that stuff is far too complicated. And less orange in my code. Look at this. I have got rid of string references. This we should contribute to the docs because this is a much better paradigm for connecting. This bit isn't, yuck, but the other bit is beautiful. Okay, that's worth a commit. No string reference. So eliminated string. Oh, that's not how you spell eliminated, but who needs to spell these days when you can right click references in connect. Smiley. What I'm going to do, I don't know how long this stream's been going. How long has this stream been going? Can I find out? Does anybody know? How do I find out? I can go over here probably. Brand new to Twitch. So anybody know how long the stream's been going? Will the Unity course teach all we'll need to know about C#? Bindi, in general, yes. If you start with the 3D course, well, actually this one. And then go to the 2D course, and then RPG, etc. Yes. Will this Godot course teach you, the upcoming Godot course teach you about or everything you need to know about C#? No. We're going to assume that you know enough C#. It's heavier, slightly heavier stuff to be doing this. So, no, it won't. So, anyway, I'm really proud of that. That's not, that's cool. Going to tweet this. So one of the things you guys might want to do is make sure that you keep telling the world about what you're doing, even in tiny little chunks. You see, this is just seems like a silly little thing to be tweeting, but it's still, in my mind, worth tweeting or putting out there. So I'm going to put this to 2 places. So I'm going to save it as a tweet, something like that, probably a PNG, although unfortunately Twitch for some reason won't take PNGs. And then I'm going to use a tool called Buffer, which goes to multiple social media places, and I'm going to buffer out the fact that the difference between things that are nicely string referenced and things that aren't. I'm actually also going to ask for help. So I'm going to pop in here, go to downloads, go to tweet, and then I'm going to say I'm going to tweet it on GameDev.tv, and I'm going to put it on the Unity course community and on the Godot course community. There you go. The pain of string referencing and solving it using C# in Godot, using the strictly typed language. Anyone know how to eliminate strings when finding nodes? Okay, so apart from I can't spell, it doesn't matter. And then I'm going to add that to the queue and let Buffer decide when it's going to send it out to those places. Yeah, you'd probably be celebrating if you understood what had happened. So let me just recap what's happened there, why that's exciting, why we're spending so long. We spend not just hours, but weeks preparing for these courses because we have a good fundamental understanding. Back at Soft is explaining. It's not still string reference back. What's it, by the way? This connection is no longer string referenced in that I can do a rename symbol on hurt, and instead of hurt, I can call it donkey, which I love calling things. And look, donkey changes in exactly all the places it should change. Now, maybe it still doesn't work now in the engine, but I suspect it will. Yeah, you see? So that's what I mean. I can do an actual, F2, hurt, boom, done, one place. That's what I mean by it's not string referenced, okay? I can also, let me show you another thing. I can go to take damage in the player, and if I decide that this isn't a take damage method, but rather it's a request damage or something like that, and I save this, because we have a strongly typed language, if I can hit the save button rather than Control S and save all my scripts, look, I reckon that this will work as well. Boom, you see? That's what I mean. This is the benefit of not having string references. What I always want to be able to do is go to one place, only one place, and change the name of things. Because the moment you feel you have to change the name of things in more than one place, what in reality happens is you end up not changing names. And when you end up not changing names, you end up with bad names. And when you end up with bad names, you end up with code that you can't change. So this is the proof of the pudding that we can actually change these names. I'll actually do it and commit it just to prove it. Deal damage. So I could rename this deal damage. And we've made a couple of name changes if we look at the version control. And those changes are here and here. And it's made all the changes for me. Yeah. So searching for the player, yeah, I haven't found a solution yet to finding the player without string references. But look, we will get there. I'm sure that if necessary, we'll just iterate through all the nodes in the game and find the thing that's the player until Godot Engine provide us with a generic function that lets us do that. It's not the end of the world if we make ourselves some sort of static method that goes through everything. Look, it's at the start of the game. It finds a reference to the player, job done. At least we can then refer to the player, and then we are free in the engine then to rename this entity. This node should be able to rename that. Move the node around in the hierarchy. Should be free to do that. Everything should be relative. Everything should be renameable. If you can do that, then another resource is loaded in path. We'll worry about this cyclic inclusion in a second. Let me just reload the editor. I don't like the look of that cyclic inclusion at all. If you set the group name for the player to possibly, but we don't need a group. I mean, Yann's talking about using groups. It feels like a hack because you're introducing another concept, which is a group. Ooh, look at that. That got exciting. Do you see what just happened there? Just opened up hundreds of Visual Studio codes and closed them again. Anyway, I want to see if there are any errors when I run. Then I'm going to commit to show that we can change the name. Then I'm going to go for a break, and then I'm going to come back and start looking at collision filtering, etc. in C#. Okay, awesome. No errors. I'm just proving renaming. So proving single place one button rename or one step rename of both signal and delegate, or yeah, delegate. Okay, I'm happy. That makes me happy that I can do that. I'm going to end the stream. I'm going to pick up the stream in just a few minutes. Thank you very much, everybody, for being here. I'll make my face a little bit bigger while we finish off this particular stream. Nice to say goodbye to you guys kind of in person. It's a bit weird the way you can see everything on my screen, but it does make streaming easier for me because I know exactly what's on my screen is what I'm presenting. What's the problem here? It's that I'm sharing my screen to Yann still. Not that Yann's here. Let's just maximize the chat, say goodbye, just educate you guys about a few things. If you're, well, most of you are already Twitch Prime subscribers. Back at 50 foot, what is Twitch Turbo? Is that an old thing, something that I don't know about, just so I understand what your thing is there? Maybe Twitch Turbo has been discontinued, has it? Maybe it hasn't. I think Twitch Turbo is an old thing, is that right? And you're kind of grandfathered in with that? Or does it mean that you are subscribed for $8.99 a month to Twitch, which means you don't get any ads anywhere on Twitch? Is that what's going on? Probably. Oh, it is like Prime. Oh, it's like Prime but older. Okay, and now you can do it through Prime, and you kind of almost may as well, but it's because it's cheaper. Turbo's still cheaper than getting an Amazon Prime, but look at all the other benefits you get with Amazon Prime. You get free delivery on Amazon, you get Amazon Prime TV, whether that's a good thing or not, I don't know. You're also subscribed to Twitch. Awesome. So thank you very much for subscribing, everybody. You're awesome. Keep subscribing. That really helps us. We're creating a new subscription levels, by the way. If you look at our subscription levels, we are currently working out in our Twitch strategy what the different levels are. And soon there'll be a reason to subscribe, not only at the $4.99, but at the $9.99 and at the $24.99. We just got to work out the mechanism for differentiating that. We have on our homepage, so if I go to GameDev.tv /Twitch, oh no, other way around, then we have put a couple of new things today. We always have an event countdown as to when we're talking next, but I'm putting a latest subscribers list on there. It's not going to be updated very often, but when we do update it, we'll include in bold the tier 2 subscribers, and we'll do something very special for the tier, excuse the noise, the tier 3 subscribers. So you probably couldn't hear anything I said just then, I'm suspecting, so I'm going to just remix the Chrome sound right down like that, because Did Chrome just come flying over the top of my sound, by the way? I wonder. If it did, just let me know in the chat, because I need to play with this volume mixer. I've got quite an unusual streaming setup here. I'm not using OBS. Really nice. The computer's completely silent. It's not working away encoding like crazy. I'm using a dedicated piece of hardware encoding. Why don't I give you a behind the scenes? Hang on a second. Let's move this camera. Like so. And then you can't see the camera because you can only see what's on my screen. And then scroll around and then go down and then try and focus. Is that going to focus? That's about focused. No, it's not. Can I manually focus this guy? Doesn't want me to. It's looking for faces. That's the problem. Let me find a way of focusing this camera for you, because I wanted to show you this little video streaming box. I mean, it's blurred there. You can kind of see it. In fact, you can see it pretty well. There you go. So that's the box. So what I've got is I've got HDMI coming in here from... I really will focus this. Hang on 2 seconds. If I can work out how. Lumix tether is not showing for me at the moment for whatever reason. Oh, well, I won't bother focusing it. It's a shame I can't just focus the lens manually. It seems a bit crazy. I'm trying to twist the ring, but it just won't have it for whatever reason. Okay, anyway, I've got HDMI coming in here. This is the network going up to Twitch. That's just power. In fact, this is amazing. Watch this. I've just pulled the power out. Still works because it's got battery power. So it's power safe and stable. And yeah, and it's telling me what's going on here, right? It's saying that we're live, that we're streaming. This box itself is connected to Twitch. You can configure it either in these really fiddly menus, which you can kind of push in here, which you can't do in a broadcast, or you can configure it on a mobile app or on a web browser. And it's recording to an SD card here. So should anything go wrong with the stream or with Twitch or whatever, and I don't want to lose the information, it's recorded to an SD card. And that's it, really. It's got, video input. It's encoding into H.264. One day I'll get a box that encodes H.265, which will be even prettier, even sharper on the screen. And it's going off to the cloud. So, yeah, pretty cool, hey? And that's my arm, my keyboard. What else do you need to see? My mug, my laptop, and then my other mug, my biological mug, which is my face. So that's me after too many beers, and then this is me as you sober up. There you go. All right, awesome. Yes, so we're uptime, Shablo. Yeah, absolutely. We have plenty of uptime. Hey, why not use that Twitch Prime subscription for our channels? Got to be worth it. Yeah, I don't know if you're saying that we have loads of uptime because we have a piece of dedicated hardware. Is that what you were saying? But yes, it is a nice piece of kit. The quality of the Twitch stream is much better than the YouTube streams. Yeah, well, when we were doing YouTube, we didn't have this box, possibly apart from the last one. The quality could be much higher, again, as I say, if I used H.265, but I don't have such a piece of hardware. And for the moment, we'll live without. All right, guys, I'm going to end the stream, go for a quick break, go and get a little bit of sunshine. It's looking rather nice outside. I can give you a quick preview of the outside if you like. I just have to spin the camera around this way. Now, that's not working, is it? Now, what do? Do I push this button on the camera? Maybe, but what on earth do we do about the exposure? Not really sure. Okay, well, we'll do this on the next thing. Oh, no, here you go. There you go. Can I expose it out there somehow? No. Doesn't want to have it. I could just set the exposure manually. That would do it. So if I went for ISO and then just said, okay, well, give me a nice low ISO. And then it's not low enough, and then so therefore I increase the frame rate. In fact, I could make the shutter much smaller and the aperture much smaller. Far too many aperture settings. There you go. There's the garden. Amazing. It's so bright out there. You need like ridiculous frame rates, and there you go. Hopefully one of my kids won't go running by, but that's some indication of what the garden is like at the moment. Massive, massive difference in brightness. If I spin this camera around back to me now, then that's how bright I am with those camera settings. Actually, that makes me think I should go out there and get some of that sunshine, because if it's that much brighter out there, it'd probably be good for my spirit, if there is such a thing, to be out there in the sunshine. So I'm going to go get out in the sunshine for 10 minutes. Then I'll come back and stream and deal with collisions in C#, and then, yeah, keep going. Basically, want to get to the point where Yann's prototype is super tight. Then I might actually be starting to record some of the C# content for Looney Lips today, which will include JSON imports in C# and how you do that, and a whole bunch of other things. Anyway, thanks for being here, guys. Thanks for subscribing, those of you who have. Really appreciate everything, and I'll be back shortly. I'm going to stop the stream on my little Wizzy box. See ya.